speak.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, our speaker for this evening is the former coach at Cameron High School, instructor, Mr. John L. Fair. Coach Fair was born in Chicago, Illinois, the seventh child of 7 brothers. He was the 7th child of 7 brothers. He attended the public schools here in Nashville, after which he studied at Fisk University. While attending Fisk, he played quarterback on the varsity team for 4 years. He received a Bachelor of Science degree in 1957 as vice president of his senior class. Mr. Fair has been a member of Gordon Memorial United Methodist Church for over 70 years. In the fall of 1957, he was hired to teach and coach in the Dixon County school system, and then segregated Hampton High School for 2 years before transferring to the Nashville City School System. Mr. Fair taught at Cameron High School for 5 years. Then in 1964, he received a promotion to head football coach at Meigs Senior High School. Meigs was later reclassified to junior high status in 1967, bringing about the mid-year transfer to Pearl Senior High School, where he remained until 1970. In 1970, he was transferred to Madison High School. However, during the summer break, an opportunity presented itself for him to work for the Neighborhood Youth Corporation at the Metro Action Commission for the mayor's office as director of the Neighborhood Youth Corps. And later, he became the director of the Metro Action Commission. In the summer of 1985, Coach Fair was selected and named the Director of Housing for the Metropolitan Development and Housing Authority, where he served for 5 years. Later, he served for several years as President and Chief Executive Officer of the Nashville Urban League, retiring from the Urban League after years of leadership for that great community and civil rights organization. Coach John Fair continues to work and serve his city, community, and his church. Coach Fair is married, and they have 2 sons, 2 daughters, along with 11 grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach John L. Fair.
Good evening, Cameronites. Hello, Panthers. Greeting, Cameron Panthers. First, let us give thanks to the Lord, who makes all things possible, and the one who has blessed and brought us safely through the years. So we say thank you, Lord. Thank you for all that you have done and for all that you continue to do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I made some written preparations, but while I was doing that, my attention was drawn to, and some of you may have seen it. It's a picture of Representative John Lewis. It was in the paper the other day. Representative John Lewis received the nation's highest civilian honor. He did this because of his work with organizing the sit-ins in Nashville, Tennessee. I couldn't participate in the sit-in. They told me to stay at home. So they said I was too volatile. I had a high temper. My coach told me, said, he'd fight a circus saw. Well, I couldn't go, so I sent one of my young students, and I saw him today, and I almost didn't recognize him because the slender, frail young man that we all saw on Fifth Avenue fighting the police was a little larger than I had seen him earlier. But Rufus, stand up. I took time to do that. First of all, because I knew you'd want me to. And next, because when we think back to where you were 50 years ago, which was 1960, we could not have been here. But we're here now. It just goes to show if you keep on keeping on, good things will happen if you keep your hand in the Lord's hand. So we thank you, and we thank all of you who didn't get your pictures in the paper fighting the police, but you were there doing what we needed for you to do in order to bring about this resurrection. So let's give us all a big hand. It is indeed a pleasure and great joy for me, and it's a personal privilege for me to greet and address this wonderful, august body of fantastic alumni and friends. 25 years ago, I was called on to help a group of young people who decided that they wanted to do something to remember their old high school campus. And what could I say but all right. That was the beginning of this Cameron Alumni Foundation. And I think that we would be remiss if we didn't give those who are being honored, please stand. Those who are being honored as the founders of this great alumni association, please stand. Thank you. Remember, students, boys and girls, young men, and hi y'all. Sometimes the hi y'all is enough, particularly if we have all come through the waters that we've come through together. Some of us, and it takes you back a little bit, but some of us didn't have change of clothes. Some of us didn't have dinner at home. Some of us had more brothers and sisters than we had biscuits. say that because it is exemplary for me to stand here and look out over this great body of brown folk who come so far, so quickly, and have done so much. I told my wife, this is her first time meeting most of you. I pointed out a young man and I said, that little fellow right there. I said, he's not a little fellow now, but, and I know he won't mind me saying this, but he was pouring Joe's turkey. And I guess I can say that about a lot of you. But I saw him today. He walked all the way across the room and spoke to me. And he said, "You don't know who I am?" I said, "Yeah, Jerry, I know who you are." I said, "What are you doing now?" He said, "I'm professor." I got to say that again. He is a professor at Alabama A&M. Alabama A&M. And I say that because I used to see Jerry, and he'd come to gym class, and you know, Mr. Jackson almost fired me. He almost fired me because when I came to Cameron, I didn't know that I was supposed to sell gym uniforms. So the boys would come to me, I said, I think they were $2.50 for the little shorts and t-shirt. And I said, "Here, go on, take it." I said, "But you bring me my money." Well, you know how that way is, have your money. And when the year was up and Mr. Jackson was having us turning our grades and our keys and our money, I didn't have the money. It wasn't that I had spent the money, I didn't get the money. But somehow or the other, I scraped it up and paid off my bills for my boys. And I'm thankful. When I sit back and look at a crowd of folk like this, and I think of what they've come through, what they have gone through. I say boys because I taught the boys and coached the boys. But you girls know that we had some interchange, and I won't get past my speech, so let me go on right. Charles, Stella, stand up.
Hey, Charles.
Where's Stella, the blonde hair? Stand up. These are my children. They call me Dad. And I'm thankful that they think that much of me to call me that, but they have truly been working on your behalf. Charles was at my house the week before last taking my picture. Stella's called me from Arizona, New York, and New Amsterdam, all over the world, trying to pull this affair together. I think we owe them a round of applause.